Oh boy, I went over Wendy today. It seemed to be a good day to go. Actually, it started while I went over. I get a phone call. My phone today, it came up with a number, nectarized it coming from Wendy's HQ in Cleveland, Ohio, all place in Ohio. I wonder who is this? What they call me about? So I answered the phone, said hello. And guess who it was on the other end of the phone? Dave Thomas' daughter, Wendy, on the other end of the phone. And he said to me, told me to go over Wendy's on Queenston Road. You know, over Queenston Road, which I knew, I said, oh, my apartment, okay, got up, left, went over there, walk into the get over the restaurant. I turned around. There was a very high-end, very expensive car coming into the place. It was a Mercedes-Benz, a very high-end, top-of-the-line vehicle. Person rich, I know a very wealthy person. Turn around, I see this lady with red hair getting out of the car. I see this other guy getting out of the vehicle. Then I see the franchisee pulling in his car at the same time, owner of the Wendy franchise there. And Wendy walked up to owner and said, how long Margaret's been working at Wendy's for? And Margaret, she's been working there for 35 years. Best customer, best employee ever had. The franchisee said that. Well, we're going in because we got a very big surprise for her. Yeah, and Wendy went over me and called me over. And were you the person that nominated her for Employee of the Year award? Yeah, she asked me. I said, yes, I did. I didn't nominate her. Well, the franchisee walks in the restaurant first. Come behind this beautiful redhead. Nobody really knew who this redhead was. Wow. Caught a few employees with their pants down already. Weren't expecting this to happen. So all comes in, and they called Margaret in the back room. Wendy called me into the office in the back of the restaurant. Okay, Wendy Thomas called me in the back of the restaurant. That's odd. So I went through the kitchen and the back of the restaurant and into the owner's office there. And what we did, we sat, and Margaret was in there. Margaret said, I'm in trouble. No, you're not in trouble. And I stood there for a minute there, and Wendy pulls up, brings out the big, huge plaque, and asked, and I stood there. I didn't have my phone with me at home, of course. Oh, I just stood there, and I watched on the sidelines. But finally, Wendy asked me to hand it to her. I had to say, on behalf of Wendy Thomas and Wendy Thomas family and the franchisees that worked so hard to keep this business going, and the employees, and they worked so hard, like Margaret. These employees, and I present you on behalf of Wendy Thomas' Employee Recognition Award to him. So as Wendy presented it to Margaret at that point, her hard doing, my God, Margaret looks at me and said, Sari, did you refer me to Employee of the Year award? Yes, I did, because you have outstanding, anytime in a restaurant, you're always damn good about getting my order ready and serve me quick. And you keep up, and keep other people in line when they're not taking out of line behind the scene, too. And all these little things you do, people appreciate, including me. I appreciate little things you do at Wendy's besides just what I see. And Margaret looks at me and says, wow, all your work, I never realized people really appreciate what I do. Yeah, Yeah, you do, and even the owners do, even the franchisee here. I do appreciate you too when you take boys in line. And when it came out of franchisee, there were the employees stepping out of line. What did he do? He turned around, took a burger off a grill, half cooked, and wrapping it up quickly before it was fully cooked. And Wendy see that and said, "No, put it back on the grill now. Gotta cook it thoroughly." Well, went back on the grill. Wendy made sure to cook it, put it back in. This wrapped it up. Here, that goes to Dow. Oh, and what the Dave Thomas single combo. Of course, the employee was rushing too quick on the line. The young kid was rushing too fast because he was a young teenage kid rushing too fast behind the counter. Well, you don't rush it. Take your time at it. And Wendy's, I looked up at glanced up in the hood there, and I looked at the oily filter. I said, "Miss Thomas, Wendy, this filter is pretty oily up." She gets on a step, looked up, whoa. That has to be done immediately. Immediately, get that guy in to fix it immediately. There, boom. Oh my God, franchisee, so I get them right away. Yeah, so basically, well, apparently, yeah, right there, see? That's where all the exhaust come up from the restaurant deep fryer. So. Okay, then I went out to a restaurant, and Wendy comes out with a tray and stuff out and brings me a Frosty with a, and what he has on that tray, a Dave Thomas single, fries, and all that, and had a glass of pop I could get, and brings me out a large glass of pop. Here, that's for you. You've been a good, you always had reported problems in the restaurant to us, and we had done great. I'm glad that you are one of our valued customers here. Report any trouble restaurant, which I have done it a few times. I found trouble in that Wendy's on Creature. Well, a few things like super leak, over cold air conditioning that were way too cold. You freeze in there. On top of cold air conditioning, also I said something else. You know what that was? About how there were problems, other little minor things like employees not doing the job proper, but I seen and said, brought it up to management. Wendy caught the employee with fan stuff. That's what really excited me. I never expected to meet Wendy Thomas, but I sure did today. She came and said of Margaret that's the Employee of the Year award. Even I witnessed, I was there as a witness to see Margaret get that Employee of the Year award. It was in the office behind the kitchen where franchisee's office. Kitchen where it was in. And Margaret was astonished. It was beautiful. 14-karat gold, silver, black, saying awarded to Margaret for Wendy Outstanding Service, Customer Service, an Outstanding Employee of the Year award within North America, within Wendy Company Inc. and Wendy Company and Inc. and Associate. Here at this award plaque in the highest honor of Wendy's restaurants in Canada, USA, basically. Well, anyways, it said that on. That's what interesting notes. That Margaret received a award at Wendy's today. Very old, very nice lady. Been working for quite a few years. Been working since 1999. She's about 78 and still works strong. My God, she knows her stuff well. Well, anyways, that's an exciting thing for me today. Because Wendy actually called me from, she did before, about 5 minutes before she got there. She called me from her cell phone. in the back seat with another man, another person with her in the back seat of this very expensive, Rolls Royce, a Rolls Royce limousine called on her cell phone. Oh, that's pretty good. But the cell phone had the American phone number to it, but it was a Creed, Ohio number, and I'm not going to give a number because that's pretty personal. The lady is very rich from her big, rich, very rich. Wendy Thomas, a wealthy, rich billionaire. She makes her money on with she owned some of 4,000 so all pulling money from all over the world now. Plus she has U.S., Canada, and nowhere else. In Alaska too. Have 2 new stores in Alaska just opened. We didn't tell me that. Plus she opened several stores within in the airports. Within one in Britain in Heathrow, and one in Heathrow in Britain, another one in a couple other ports. Plus, she just opened a new store in Japan. First Wendy Japan. And I said, I went other countries. Well, I stay away from China, Russia. I won't open one in Russia. I won't open anything in China. I still won't open anything in any other country right now until they get the war settled, basically, and then not. We can't afford it, we don't want to not do. So, I'm really happy to see that, she told me that now. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Wendy's, I've been to 3 Wendy's in the States, and they always seem to be a little different in Wendy, Canada, in the way, but they always seem to have about the same menu. 2 other things. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, she knew I know. How did me and her had a sit chat? Good one, too. Interesting. And I said to someone, no way be good place to put a Wendy's where there's not any Wendy's around. I said in a town like McMeadowan, that would be really get busy with tourists in the summertime and people going on up there and fishing, all that in the summer month. And Burke Falls, these are 2 locations for Wendy's to go. You know what she said to me? Yeah, even Burke Falls get busy in summer month, tourists. You got McMeadowan busy on tourists. And Wendy looked at me and said, well, yeah, and I showed a couple areas, showed the area to her on the phone. She looked at it and said, wow, maybe I will put a Wendy's in McMeadowan because one little smaller, we put a Wendy's in McMeadowan and it would be like, basically be open all year round, just like what I got down here. Plus, we're going to put one in, we plan to put one in. And I said, what about putting one in down the throat in Burke Falls? Yeah, we put one in Burke Falls too. They actually have planned, Wendy's said they have planned to build 2 new Wendy's in Canada. And one going to be in Meadowan, one going to be in Burke Falls. And one in Burke Falls run all year round. One in Meadowan will be seasonal. Basically. We'll operate in summertime. And will operate sort of basically throughout the summer, but in the winter, right up to the end of the season, and they will operate in winter hours, limited hours in the winter time, to 4 hour to almost to 4 hour normal hours in summer month, down to limited hours like from 9 till 5, and they can close at about 5:30. Yeah. Anyway, in the summer they run on the regular hours throughout the summer, basically. So that's pretty good. I said they're going to put them, she told me about 2 restaurants being going to be built. To be built. They right now, we've been talking at Town McMeadowan, and they, about zoning and how to put it in. And we want to know if the town has a sewer capacity in there to handle waste, or would they have a water capacity? If the town said we had both, they're have suitable capacity to handle it, and electricity instead of suitable in the area. So, yeah, I know they're going to put a new one in. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, enough said about Wendy's, My God, Margaret won had the Employee Year Award. I was so proud to see it. So I'll go over.